Welcome to Roguecast, the official podcast of Rogues Gallery. We'll talk comics for the week, as well as whatever news is on our pop cultural radar. I'm Randy.
I'm Nick.
This is Dave.
And now, on with the show. Hello and welcome to a Roguecast, a strange Roguecast.
Is it a strange Roguecast?
Oh, we're down
a
Nick.
person, right? So it's just me and Randy.
We
today.
were out. There's been some chaos lately.
Oh, right. And we had skipped a week.
We skipped last week, and we didn't get our comics until this morning. Part of the chaos continuing on.
Right.
So I've not read almost anything DC or Image this week.
Right.
You've read a handful of things.
I've read a handful, but we're not as prepared as we like to be.
So this will be, a lot of this will be comics I'm looking forward to reading,
right.
but not comics I've read.
Could be good.
Yes.
Could suck.
Yeah. And we also will have 2 weeks for the comics to talk about.
Yes.
And some news. So let's jump to it, Dave.
Yep. Are we doing the games first?
Let's start with the news we got. So our clearance sale is in its final month.
It's the big stuff.
It will end at the end of April, so we can get everything cleared in time for Free Comic Book Day, which is coming on May 2nd. So
basically,
everything is all the graphic novels are $5 and role playing games are $5.
Yep.
All the board games are $10.
Yeah, it's nuts. I saw somebody come up with a big old a handful of stuff yesterday, and it had like 4 or 5 hardcovers of like Marvel art books and things like that, and it was like their total was like $30 or $40.
Yep, it's a great way to come clear stuff out. You've got a couple more weeks to check it out before it's gone.
And because this was the biggest one we've ever done, there is still, like, you might think it'd be all picked over right now. No, there's still a ton of good stuff.
There's some good stuff back there. Yep.
So yeah, it's just there was just enough stuff that there's just still stuff. There's still good stuff.
This Saturday is Supergirl Day, so we will have some Supergirl stuff to give away.
Yeah, I forget what all is in there, but it's like some pretty cool stuff.
Sophie Campbell's first issue, Tom King's first issue.
Yeah.
It's a good selection.
New, or is it all kind of?
It's all reprints.
Good recent stories.
Yep.
And for those who don't know, Sophie Campbell is writing the current Supergirl, which we really like. And Tom King wrote the story, the miniseries on which the movie is inspired, the upcoming movie. We know they're going to change plenty of stuff, I'm sure, but that's the bare bones of it. So if you want to get a little sampling, you can do that. Of course, there's also the collection and the compact edition as well. Yep. So you can get this in multiple ways, but if you want to sample it, are these free on Saturday?
The comics are free. The compact editions aren't.
Oh, that's what I meant.
I just don't want people to get confused. Dave.
Yeah,
people wander around on Free Comic Day like, is everything free? And it ain't.
That's fair, but I want to make sure they know that they can sample this for free with the single issue.
Yes, there are some free samples.
Yeah.
Until we run out. Games. So we got 2 new blind boxes. People love these blind bag dice.
Yes.
So we got the Fizzband's Treasure, which are D20s.
Right, they're like oversized D20s,
I believe so. Oversized D20s.
And are those the ones that come in the little treasure chests?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, these are cool. They it's not the little baggies you actually get a little Legend of Zelda looking chest, and if you ask, I will do the Legend of Zelda music while you open it.
Yeah, and if you don't ask, we might pop up in the back of your car and do it.
Very solid. Yeah. I will just slowly rise up as you're like checking your rearview mirror at some point, and I'll go do 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 do.
We also got the Castle Ravenloft, which is the latest version of their treasure packs, which we still have the Undermountain ones, but they've done other ones, the various Waterdeep. This one is the Ravenloft themed dice sets.
Yep. I saw, Serena bought at least one to try them out, our staff for Serena, that maybe more, I don't know. And so I got to look at one of them, and it's funny, I think she wasn't as into it, but I thought it was very cool looking. Yep. It had little sort of etchings in it that looked like the cube in Hellraiser.
Oh, okay.
In there, and I was like, oh, that's perfect for Ravenloft. They were kind of bronze looking. Yep. Very cool. I think she just wanted one of the others, but
and it comes with a dice bag. There are, I think, 7 different ones, and it comes with coins.
So yeah, they're continuing to do that. Are they like coins of Barovia?
I'm not sure. I think they are.
Or just spooky stuff.
It looks like one of the rare ones might be some kind of cool Barovian coin.
Yeah, it says the holy symbol of Ravenkind on one of these.
Okay.
Which I know ravens are they're a thing in Barovia. I think they're actually like maybe good omens or something like that. Sure. But anyway, yeah, I just saw this like a meme online. I'm a freak for Halloween, and
I do.
It was one of those. We're halfway to Halloween. We have hit the halfway mark on the clock of the year, and so Ravenloft, it's time.
Yeah,
Get your horror session in gear.
I believe Halloween is making its way into the mainstream or I know a bunch of Halloween freaks. That's probably true too.
Both of those things,
but
I think, can be true.
I'm definitely seeing a lot more Halloween stuff coming out. The Vampire the Masquerade RPG releases a new book called Live from the Succubus Club, which is, it's the elders who were supposedly beckoned away, and so it's like the vampires, the modern day vampires fighting the ancient vampires kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that sounds kind of cool.
What they call the Gehenna War.
I think people generally know about the World of Darkness setting, but just in case you don't. In the 90s, it was like a huge breakout thing, and it was like vampire and werewolf and all this stuff, and they were all very richly written, detailed. These are role playing heavy games about the sort of like smarter underworld, and with like more factions and stuff involved too. Some people pick these books up just for the lore, or they play them when they can, but they're also like the lore is so cool. So if you love that gothic stuff, the horror things, and want to see sort of dark urban fantasy, like, you gotta check out these books.
Yeah. We also got a game called The First Tsar, Ivan the Terrible. You are leading the families competing for power and honor in 16th century Russia.
Okay, that sounds cool.
So it looks like resource management. You're getting troops, you're trading with foreigners, you're seeking privileges, you're bribing minions of the Tsar. There are 4 rounds. Each one represents a decade of Ivan the Terrible's reign. And
I don't feel like there's enough Ivan the Terrible games, so I'm happy to see this out there.
It's starting now. This is the first one.
Yeah.
But surely the second one will come out soon. It's kind of like those volcano movies. There's always at least 2.
Yes.
And we got some other weird RPG stuff from last week. There's a thing called Dolmenwood, which is a 5th edition compatible, I think it is 5th edition compatible, Fairy Tale Woods. So it's a fairy tale adventure game conjuring the wonder, horror, whimsy, and strangeness of British folklore. Okay.
So for people who like maybe the darker and stranger side of the Fey realms in D&D, this sounds like it'd be really good.
It may be a standalone RPG. I can't quite tell.
Oh, okay.
There's also the Mycologist Primer. This is a 5e thing, which is inspired by 19th century field guides and is a system agnostic guide to real-world magical mushrooms, lichen, and slime molds.
This is in the same format as the other books we've gotten, right?
Yes, what are the minerals?
Botanist's primer and the maybe mineral geologist, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's geologist.
But these things have been doing amazing. I did not know what to make of them. People love them.
Nothing people love more than having mushrooms in their D&D game.
So the cool thing is, of course, if you're just into whatever it does, rocks, mushrooms, plants, whatever, they are cool-looking guides with beautifully painted illustrations that look like the art in like a naturalist's book, that you would just get on real stuff. And I think a lot of the lore in it is legit. But it also crosses over into the game side of things.
Yes, but also a mushroom might give your character a +1 to Dex.
It might. It gives you a +1 to trip and balls.
We got another game called Misfit Heroes RPG, which is it looks like sort of a goofy. It says the land of Absurdia.
Okay.
Where rules of reality no longer apply. This is not an RPG. It's a card crafting tableau builder, but it is an RPG. So it sounds a little bit like a mix of RPG and board game. Yeah. We got a scenario book called Dust and Blood for Cthulhu by Gaslight, which is Victorian era Cthulhu in Victorian London.
That sounds cool.
Yep. Pathfinder got Lost Omens Hellfire Dispatches, which is the war between the infernal Cheliax and its former holding of Andoran.
Okay.
Cheliax is they're like the evil. They've got the Hell Knights and all that kind of thing.
It's like their devilly land. Yep. I have never been comfortable with its name Cheliax because it sounds like Chili Town or something like that. But
no, it's got an X. It sounds scary and infernal.
Maybe if I played more Pathfinder.
Cheliax, Dave. Cheliax.
I would like that on my burger.
Netflix and Cheliax.
I would like mushrooms and Cheliax on my burger, please.
But funny, I hear it and I think Infernal Realm, but I guess
you've played more Pathfinder than I have.
And I don't get Cheliax on my food. I'm Cheliax intolerant.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are.
Yeah. It's gluten, right? And Cheliax is a form of gluten.
Devil gluten.
And devil gluten, yes. Anyway, it is one of the great bad guy kingdoms of Pathfinder.
For sure. I actually I really like the Pathfinder world. Arguably, when I was when I was checking it out, Galarian. I like it kind of over the Forgotten Realms.
I do too.
Because it feels like it was made with that in hindsight, And where the Forgotten Realms, some of the lands and stuff can be a little bit blurry. I'm like, kind of like, what's Baldur's Gate's thing versus Waterdeep's thing?
Yep.
But like here, each of the sort of different nations and city-states and whatever, their theme is really integrated into them. And I feel like, when you go to those places, that you're really going to feel whatever the vibe is of whatever they are.
And it was definitely built by people who played D&D for like decades, because like
for sure.
the Barrier Peaks kind of stuff is incorporated in one of the lands that's ruled by alien technology.
Love that stuff.
Their Egyptian is like Osiris or something like that. They've got the like African continent. Like they've got every form of D&D in there.
They even have that weird one. I hate the name. Was it Galt or whatever? But I hate all their names.
Yes,
but. The idea is that it's a consistently in a state of like sort of uprising and political upheaval.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is cool. You can almost map any sort of Game of Thronesy type stuff into that world.
And that's the thing. It is a world built for gaming. Like Ed Greenwood built Forgotten Realms as for his game.
Right.
But this is a world built for like
all gamers kind of,
like, hey, what kind of game you want to play? You can play it in this world.
It's not even really. I mean, I'm not even knocking really the Forgotten Realms because they've developed them so well.
Yeah, Forgotten Realms is fine.
I think this is like just particularly, like you were saying, kind of utilitarian. Like a GM is going to really be able to like sink their teeth into these settings, and same for the players.
Yeah, I've played a few games in Pathfinder's setting, and I really like it.
Now I need to make a Cheliax character.
They also have the Dark Archive Pocket Edition. This is a bunch of like psychic rules, supernatural rules, the Thaumaturge class.
Okay.
So that's now in a new Pocket Edition. And then the Starfinder RPG, which I have a huge fondness for.
Yep.
Their second edition Galactic Ancestries book. It's over 200 pages, 21 new options. This is their sort of race book. Right. It's not cool to say race anymore.
It does sound weird. Like sometimes they'll call them kin or something else.
So in addition to bringing in
ancestries,
in addition to more things for the Vesk and the Shirin and
their core aliens,
there's a whole bunch of new races.
Yeah, that sounds. Did you say like 20 or something?
21. The Lucky Blue Warlanisi, Sentient Rollerball Bantrid, or even a blazing miniature sun called a Novian.
So it basically, like, this would be like the equivalent of getting like a Star Trek book of like all the different aliens that were playable, including weird stuff like I want to play a Tribble, or like they're like, okay, do it.
You can.
You freak. You old Tribble freak.
Yeah, it all looks pretty cool to me. I really like the Starfinder setting.
Same.
All right, let's talk about comics. It's between the two, we're gonna have a big week of stuff to discuss because there's a lot of stuff,
but we won't have as much to say about them because we haven't read as much.
But also, there's not a lot of jumping on points. Okay, there's a lot. Yeah. We had a whole flood of them the last month or so. So now we're seeing like the number 2s. There are some though, and the big one I think is DC's All In Next Level, which gave us Lobo, Batwoman, and Deathstroke the first time.
Yes.
The second wave of that hits with the start of Fury of Firestorm.
Yep. Which is our boy Jeff Lemire.
We got late. So you may have missed it. It is on our jumping on points.
It was only late by one day, so a lot of people it might have been invisible to you if you weren't there on last.
But if you were there Wednesday,
you might have kicked over some tables.
And yes, indeed, this is by our boy Jeff Lemire, and the art is by Roberto De La Torre, I think.
It's really impressive.
I love this art. It's really pretty.
So this is interesting because it sort of upends Firestorm.
It does,
but it also Jeff Lemire is a little bit of a slow burn guy. Raphael De La Torre?
Yeah.
But also can't quite tell where it's going, but it's an intriguing start. I think I won't be giving away too much to say that there is his sort of ally and I think ex-girlfriend Firehawk.
By the way, Firehawk, one of the best visuals in comics.
Incredibly cool
I saw
looking.
her in Who's Who before I ever read a comic with her, and I'm like, that's a cool looking character.
It is cool looking, and they draw her super cool looking.
Yeah.
And basically, like, these special ops type guys, government type agency guys come to her, and they're like, hey, your boy Firestorm is up to something that's scaring the shit out of us. And she, like, I won't say too much about what their exact concern is and all this, but they kind of coerce her into coming along. And then she, at first you just see her as a normal person, but like when she's like Firehawk's up, looks so freaking cool.
Yep.
But there is Firestorm in this. This Firestorm does contain Firestorm, and
he's scary. This is a horror book.
He's a little scary. There is interestingly, there is also some classic Firestorm is Ronnie Raymond.
Yep.
And Professor Stein traditionally.
Yep.
There is an element of that. If you have seen, I don't know if this is not a very direct comparison, but Jeff Lemire did a run on Moon Knight where he kind of had the broken mindscape of Mark Spector.
Yep.
And you saw all the sort of different eras in it. And there's a little bit of that to this, where the classic stuff, is not necessarily real. Maybe sort of a memory or something we're not quite sure yet.
Yep.
But
I believe,
but it's an intrigue. It's a mystery.
I believe that he's being trapped in there, and that's why he's been showing he thinks he's in reality, but he's not.
Right.
I don't think they're undoing the past of Firestorm.
No, I didn't particularly get that impression.
Because
either.
also there's a panel here that shows all the other Firestorms, the elemental version of him,
right?
The version that was I can't remember the name, Jason Rush, I want to say.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
So they're acknowledging all the history of Firestorm, which I think is interesting. Yep. I'll say this, Dave. I think I like this more than you did. I think you liked it okay.
I'm a little bit nervous because I do kind of want classic Firestorm. Like, I don't want it to be exactly like it was in 1985 or whatever. But I kind of want Ronnie and the Professor back together again.
Yeah.
I would love if they could, both evolve it and also still bring back some of that.
Yeah. I really like this. This reminds me of two things especially. And I think you're going to think I'm crazy on at least one of them.
Okay.
It reminds me of WandaVision. The whole powerful person who's taking over an area, and the military's trying to contain it, and they don't know what they're dealing with.
Okay,
and also
not completely insane.
And also Alan Moore's Swamp Thing.
In the sense that you're not quite sure where it's going to land with it after it kind of rebuilds.
And it is about an elemental. It's about an elemental force.
Yeah. So one of my gaps in my knowledge of John Ostrander's various comics, and you and I both have huge love for Suicide Squad, Hawkworld, The Spectre, some of his Star Wars stuff. He's one of our all-time favorite writers.
Yeah, I've read almost everything he's done.
And Firestorm, I only had one or two issues I randomly picked up. I don't know if it's kind of his best era, but I do remember reading some and it was still interesting. That was the era. He himself, I think, was influenced by Alan Moore.
Yeah.
And the idea of him as sort of this. Was he was he literally a fire elemental?
He was a fire elemental. And they had there was the Russian guy who'd been in the mix of the Matrix and that kind of thing. And it was a little more political than that's what Ostrander tends to bring.
Yep.
I have all of that run. I picked it up during my era when I was just getting into Swamp Thing and or Suicide Squad and Spectre and all that. And I really liked it. I think cool. It's a weirder book than his other stuff, but it's good.
You know how when Peter David came on the Hulk, and his run became about change and evolution and all this stuff. Ostrander tended to do that with books he was on. Oftentimes he did it in a kind of a cool way without breaking the toys, I think.
But often,
I'm a little cautious in case I don't want to see the toys get broken.
His stuff often though would not stick either. His Firestorm really isn't that well remembered. His Punisher run, people only remember he did a Punisher run.
I don't remember he did a Punisher run.
And he did some interesting stuff in
his
both cases.
Hawkworld, sadly, we love it.
Hawkworld love it, and it is basically non-canon.
It was even at the time. It was fighting against continuity, and it was so cool though.
Yep. Anyway, I really like this. It would have been if for sure we'd had it last week. It would have been my pick.
And here's I think I told you off mic earlier, Randy. Although I had a little caution about where it's going and all that, it probably was also my pick of the week last week.
And that means
the combination of art and writing is just too good on it.
Since Nick isn't here, that means all three of us would have picked it.
That means it's the most popular comic in Rogues Gallery's history. It is the most popular comic in all of Rogues Gallery's history. The entire management team recommends it.
Serena
10 out of 10.
Also loves it. She's not in the room right now, but
she's not in the room.
Hasn't read it, but she probably loves it.
Probably loves it.
Yeah, you know what? All the employees of the past all love it. They all love Firestorm.
Past, present, and future.
Past, present, and future employees all love Fury of Firestorm. Have we oversold? We might have oversold. This week's big number one actually is Star Trek Starfleet Academy. For those who don't know, Starfleet Academy was the most recent Star Trek show. Dave and I both really, really enjoyed it.
Yep.
They have announced that season 2 will be the final season, which made me very sad.
Yep.
But preemptively, if you wanted more of these characters, this miniseries tells the story of the characters during some students from the War College, some from Starfleet Academy.
It's very similar to the kind of premises you see on the show, where you've got our favorites from the regular Starfleet Academy and their rivals, from the War College, and they it's a kind of a cool premise. They're gonna do a simulated planetary kind of observation thing where they're going to beam down to a planet.
Yep.
It's supposed to be everything is going to be sort of simulated and virtual sort of, but even though the planet is real. It's like a planet that got damaged during the burn, so it's supposed to be unpopulated. Well, guess what? Some crazy shit goes on.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, if you've been enjoying the characters like we have and just want to see some more of them, some side adventures, this is good stuff.
Yeah. For the Thundercats fans, we have Mumm-Ra The Ever-Living #1.
Yep.
This is...
I call Mumm-Ra The Ever-Loving.
Is this the... I think this is the origin of Mumm-Ra? It is.
Oh, okay.
It's the Old Kingdom in Egypt.
Wait, they actually say Egypt?
It says the Old Kingdom, Egypt.
Okay. Because
the Beast knew it as First Earth, Dave.
They did. I was going to say, yeah, they called Earth, the planet they were on, like First Earth or something like that, or New Earth, but First Earth, I guess. I wonder. I believe this may shock you, but the '80s lore of the show was, I think, kind of surface.
What? No.
and I do wonder if, if the comic people have been tying it more to is it supposed to be an alternate version of our Earth? Is it actually sort of connected to it? And if so, where are the cat people of our world? Why can I not meet Panthro?
Dave,
where is the Snarf?
You have seen the cat people of our world, famously.
That is true. I did see. I actually literally saw Cats live. By the way.
Yep. So you've seen them live and in the theater.
Are you telling me that there is a secret connection between Cats the musical and Thundercats?
That is what I'm telling
cartoon?
you. Yes, Cats the musical, Thundercats.
They did
same
both
thing.
come out in the '80s.
There's aliens involved. There's spaceships involved, right?
That's true. That's true. Actually, I hadn't thought about this, but they literally I think Cats the musical came out in the mid '80s. Thundercats came out in the mid '80s.
Yeah.
I wonder if Thundercats was let's take this goofy pop culture thing for musical lovers and make it muscular and fighty.
Panthro, Chitara, Rum Tum Tugger, to me and the Sword of Azrael.
Yes, exactly. To me, my Mr. Mistopheles.
Who's worse, Mr. Mephistopheles or Mumm-Ra? Or are they the same person? Mumm-Ra's a mummy, not a cat. So there is that.
Who is the scallywag of the cats?
I thought it was Mr.
No, it's not him.
Okay. Oh man, I don't remember his name. I've never seen Cats.
You keep talking.
Anyway,
I'm going to look it up.
I find it interesting that the Thundercats enemy is a mummy, because I assume that because they're cats, they like to unravel bandages, and that's probably where the whole thing started.
Yep.
But he is a good visual. He looks cool. This is Dynamite gets good artists. This artist Rafa Labosco does cool art. It's written by Declan Shalvey, who's been doing the Thundercats book, and it's straight up a origin of Mumm-Ra.
Nice. For the record, it is McCavity.
McCavity, yes.
The most villainous of all cats.
Yes. Yes.
Mumm-Ra is a serious customer. McCavity is worse.
We got a few facsimiles this week. I want to mention Man of Steel #1 is one of them.
Yeah. This was one of my formative comics. It's the DC basically kept its continuity from the Golden Age all the way up until the 1980s.
Yes.
And then they did the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then they did their first of what would become multiple relaunches. But this was the first one. Man of Steel was their big kind of super A-list. John Byrne from Marvel Comics has come over to DC to work on it. And this was the miniseries that reintroduced Superman. Each issue was kind of a span of his early career. The first one is kind of his time in Smallville and discovering his powers. Second issue is his first major throwdown with Lex Luthor. Third issue is Batman. And do we know yet, Randy, are they reprinting the whole thing or just this first?
I was just looking it up. They are, in fact, reprinting the whole thing.
Cool. It's a cool 6-issue miniseries.
Worth mentioning, this was a 1986, which is banner year for comics.
Oh, yeah.
Was that also Watchmen?
It was Watchmen, Killing Joke,
Dark Knight Returns, Daredevil, Man Without Fear.
Man.
Or not. Whatever the Daredevil thing was called at the time.
Yeah, Born Again could have been...
Oh, X-Men Mutant Massacre was also 86.
Jeez.
Mouse was 1980. Man, that is a big year.
It is. What's funny is because, of course, it's also one of those sort of banner years for movies and stuff with
Dark Horse.
Aliens and all that stuff.
Dark Horse became a thing in 86.
Oh, wow.
They came out
Man, that is huge.
Wonder Woman #1 by George Perez.
Yep.
Batman Year One.
I was trying to remember earlier if that was 86 or 87.
Yeah, that is
Justice League International. Did that bust out?
No, I think that was later.
That was 87.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
it was just when all the relaunches were starting.
Yeah, crazy. So if you want to catch one of Dave's favorite Superman runs,
it's Man of Steel. Yeah.
And also worth noting that Silver Surfer is getting a facsimile run. We don't know how long that's going to run. But it's the original Stanley
1968.
1960s.
You know, I didn't realize. I knew that Stan had done a solo Surfer comic, but like, I forgot it was still in the 60s. Like, that the Surfer had achieved cult status so quickly.
Yeah.
Now, I guess Marvel, like, Fantastic Four began in 63?
Yeah, and this was like 68. Yeah.
So that is a ways out from it, I guess. But yeah, I kind of think of him as, like, almost maybe hitting a stride more in the 70s as far as that goes. But yeah.
No, that was Ghost Rider's time.
I guess so.
Space Surfers in the 60s.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Satanic Bikers in the 70s.
I was thinking that was, like, a little bit more late 70s, but it probably was early 70s. Yeah. People like the Satan stuff.
Yeah, and in the 80s we had Punisher and his shooting criminals.
Yeah.
That was also 70s, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway,
but
we don't know how much they're going to reprint, but the second issue's coming out, the third issue's already been solicited.
Stanley, John Buscema.
It's a 19-issue run. It's a great run. I have it in, like, remember the Essentials collections they did, the black and white ones?
Yeah.
It's really beautiful, so.
Yeah. John Buscema, one of the greats of Marvel art, from both, like, kind of the Silver Age and into the Bronze Age.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Yeah.
This week we also have a reprint of World's Finest number 195 by Bob Haney and Ross Andrew and inker Mike Esposito. These are sort of classic creative
Before you say what it is exactly, I don't know if people remember, maybe like 10 to 15 years ago, there was a website called Super Dickery.
Yes.
And their main thing was to find these crazy old covers from the 50s and 60s that were meant to lure in the kids, where Superman would be like, you know, sorry, Jimmy, can't save you this time, you know, I'm working for the bad guys now. Or, you know, some crazy thing on there, and you'd be like, kids of those era would be like, I gotta buy this.
Yep.
I gotta know what's going on.
Yep.
So they had these really ridiculous covers.
Turns out it works on kids, adults of the 20s.
You waxed rhapsodic about it for like 10 minutes this morning.
This cover is hilarious. It
is one of those, it's a total Super Dickery cover.
It says, dig now, die later. That's the title at the top. And
Superman and Batman are making...
They're leaning over...
dig their graves, right?
A very, very nervous-looking Jimmy Olsen and Robin are digging their own graves. And Superman is saying, hurry up with your graves, Jimmy and Robin. I'd finish you myself, but haha, I have a code against killing. And then Batman, holding a Tommy gun, as he often did, says, so I'll do the job, boys. And I read the first couple pages, and it's all wacky and crazy. So there's a guy in a Batman costume with white hair and an eye patch, who maybe works for the Mafia. I am fascinated by this comic, and I will almost certainly read it.
Yeah, no, sounds fantastic. You probably need it on your shelf, people.
So we got a bunch of reprints and stuff this week and last week, so we're just going to kind of run these things down.
Okay, let's do it.
We got the Absolute Batman Annual, the third printing. This is there's 3 stories in here, but the most important thing is Batman beats the shit out of some white supremacists.
Like beats them so bad that they can't come back in this comic as a villain, I think.
Yep.
He destroyed them forever.
It also is worth noting it features stories by Danny Warren Johnson, Heron, I don't remember his first name. Some really great art in this too.
Yep. There's a cool thing with the Absolute Batmobile too. Yep. Some amazing art on it.
The horror book from Vault, Nectar. We have sold out of number 1 twice. Yeah. The third printing of number 1 and the new number 2 both come out this week.
Yep.
Oni's Dead Teenagers, which I really enjoyed. This is sort of a time loop book.
Okay.
It is issue 1 is back in stock. Issue 2 comes out this week. We've got 6 covers of Superman, Spider-Man back in. Not a lot of them, just like about 20 of them.
Okay.
There's a second printing just been solicited, but if you want the first prints, we have a limited number left.
Yep.
Mad About DC, the one we were surprised how good it was, and we ordered a bunch more back in.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of mostly one-page stories, like 50 or 60 of them.
Chip Zdarsky got together some of the best and funniest and weirdest people in comics to do spoofs of DC stuff.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago on the podcast. There's one worth calling out that we got it back in, and you should definitely pick it up if you like humor comics.
It was kind of next level.
Sirens, the Not Safe for Work Black Label book that is by Teenie Howard and Babs Tarr.
Right, it's Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Harley, and
Black Canary.
Black Canary,
who is at the moment about to get married to Green Arrow.
Yep.
So there's some Green Arrow stuff in there. They're also doing some fun stuff with Catwoman and her relationship with Bruce Wayne / Batman.
Yep. This is a horny book.
It's a horny book. It's got fantastic art. It is one of my favorite books right now. I love it.
It's very sly and funny and horny, and like it's. I guess there's a bit of like the Harley Quinn animated show in there,
yeah.
But it's also kind of its own thing. It's really good.
Yeah, the first issue's back in stock this week.
The serious parts of it take itself a bit more seriously than the Harley Quinn show.
They do. We have the first issue back in stock this week. We have a few of number 2 left, and I believe 1 copy of number 3 left right now. So you have a shot of getting all 3 if you
can.
We also got Punisher last week, so we have Punisher 1 and 2, the new one.
Yep.
Then let's talk about all these single issues that came in this week. That I think, Dave, you had a chance to read a couple. I got to read one. Exactly.
I've read some.
So the second issue of the first 3 Next Level books, that is Lobo, Batwoman, and Deathstroke the Terminator.
Yes.
I've not had a chance to read any of them. I loved the first issue of Lobo and Deathstroke.
I feel like
really enjoyed Batwoman.
I made a point to read Lobo, and I feel like I can say it is very fun.
Nice.
In this issue, basically at the end, he kind of cut a deal to do a sort of Lobo reality show.
Okay.
And this is the through line on that. There's a guest star from a DC character that is a very, very entertaining guest spot. Not somebody I would have expected.
Nice.
It is somebody who I mentioned, though, that I would want to see in it. But that was a complete jokey thing. I didn't really think it would happen. I feel like Scotty Young, his snarky writing and his badass Lobo energy is very strong. So another good issue.
He and Jorge Corona are really good together.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get a chance to read Deathstroke yet, but that was cool. It looks like this feels like it's almost like moment-to-moment action, like the Raid and stuff like that, where yes, there is a story going on. In fact, there's a definite story, but it's kind of like the action propels it.
Right, and it's Tony Fleeks who does Stray Dogs and Feral.
Yep. And then there's I want to talk about Batwoman with people because there's some intriguing stuff that happens. I think that's her dad who shows up in it.
Yeah, okay, the general. Yeah.
The general guy.
Yep.
He's seemingly retired, but he doesn't seem to be quite out of her life just yet. There is some this is a big sort of action issue after the first one was sort of more mystery and what's going on and all that stuff. This is a sort of big action issue. This is a series that's set in and around Greece. I think Rucka decided, it'd be interesting to jump to a foreign metropolitan area.
Maybe he was I want to go on vacation to Greece and call it research.
If he did, that really smart of him.
Smart guy. We also have the second issue of a couple of the Phase 2 All-Ins, which is New Titans number 34. Haven't gotten a chance to read this yet, but this actually is the first introduction of their new team, which is, spoiler, John Kent, maybe looks like Blue Devil's sidekick Red Devil, and Wonder Woman's daughter is the new team. Looks kind of a fun thing. I'll be interested to see that. Superman Unlimited number 12, which is the second part of the story that brings in John Kent.
Yep. And has a distinct new phase of his life.
Yep.
Going on.
X-Men United number 2, which features Captain America. This is the school, the school that's going in a mind school that the X-Men are doing.
Right. Basically, this is the Kitty and White Queen school that's kind of on a psychic plane.
The second issue of Super Creep Show, which I actually dug the first issue of this one. This one has stories by Jerry Dugan and Marv Wolfman.
It is just what it sounds like, right? Sort of the Creep Show style.
Creep Show with superheroes. Yep.
Yeah.
Second issue of Tigress Island, the sort of women in prison image book. We also still have first issue of that. Second issue of Imperial Guardians, the new book by Dan Abnett that is a mix of Earth-based heroes. So you've got your Brawn, who's Amadeus Cho, Darkhawk, Captain Marvel, who's leading the group, and then Cosmic Ghost Rider and Gamora finishing it up. Yep. And they're the sort of the Black Ops squad of the new Imperium that is run. Yep. They're being run by Maximus, the insane brother of Black Bolt, who is not in a more restrained mode, but still not to be trusted. He's kind of like the spy master of this Inhumans run Imperium.
I like this issue a lot.
I did too.
And there's multiple addressing of are we killing people or not?
Yeah.
Which was, I thought, pretty well handled.
Yep.
They directly addressed the thing that I had some kind of questions about in the first issue, which was that Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, was kind of, I was like, man, she's kind of being hard on old Darkhawk in there, and I don't even care about Darkhawk, but I was like, leave this kid alone. He's trying his best.
Yep.
And this comes up as a point. I think they both look good coming out of it. Dan Abnett, I often feel is he's additive kind of when he's working with characters.
Agreed.
He doesn't bring them down. And there's a lot of, it's a cool action. He is also telling his stories by the kind of the Deathstroke comic. The action tells the story. There's interstitials and things of character development, or character development along the way. I think also, Randy, that Gamora has like one of the most badass scenes she's gotten in it.
It's pretty great.
I don't want to give any hint as to exactly
it is a really
how it
good
plays
one,
out,
yeah.
but it's super good.
I'm really digging the Imperial Guardians so far. And with Nova gone, this is where you get the Cosmic Marvel.
It is funny to me that Cosmic Ghost Rider is such a crazy unleashed person.
There's a running gag in this where like, we're not killing people, and he's like, oh well, I've killed a bunch of people already.
Yes.
And they're like, could you stop? He's like, no, I'll try.
It's funny because whatever happened to Frank Castle to make him become get to this point.
Yeah.
I know. I remember y'all talking about it, or Nick talking about it.
It's some weird thing in the future.
His personality has changed.
Yes.
He's not just dour grimdark.
No.
He's kind of, there's a little bit, and he is enjoying the anarchy.
Yeah, it's fun.
And it is fun.
Absolute Batman comes in this week. It has Absolute Scarecrow. It also has
a big development in it.
Big development, and also we know from seeing Pix Online that Robins are going to get introduced, a very different kind of Robin, and that's in the tail end pages of this week as well. So
this is probably going to be like a big issue.
It is a big issue. They all seem to be big issues.
You might want to get it before it goes.
Battle Beast is back for its second arc, and this issue seems like we see the Viltrumites start to make their presence known.
Yep.
I'm really still digging Battle Beast quite a bit. It's super fun.
I'm a couple issues behind on it, but I had been enjoying it along the way too. And it is like a really fun book, but it can also like kind of turn around and be a little bit more character oriented at times when it's not completely having heads pulled off.
There's a double burst of G.I. Joe this week and a double burst of Silent issues because the third issue of Silent Missions, that's 3 S's.
The Cobra side of the Silent Missions,
features Zartan. And then G.I. Joe number 21, if anyone knows the importance of that number, it's G.I. Joe fans, brings Scarlet and Storm Shadow into the main G.I. Joe book, and it is a pretty much silent issue.
Yep.
And a good one. I liked it quite a bit.
There's some big stuff in it. There's a few things where Randy and I, off mic, we talked about, like, is this what it looks like?
It may be the appearance of a notable character.
Right. It may be... it's also kind of an unusual... There's, like... the Arctic snowcat or whatever, and you see it like an Arctic team. There's an Arashikage temple. Randy, I don't know if you remember, but this thing that they show is like one of those vertical takeoff landing things. That was from like the old animated series. It was like there's C-130. Basically, when you needed a bunch of Cobra guys to spill out, or like Hiss tanks to come rolling out, the giant mouth part of it. That's the vehicle that they used. This is like an updated, cooler-looking version of it.
Yep.
But it is them embracing, like both the comic G.I. Joe heritage, but also some of the cool visuals of the old cartoon.
But also, Dave, with all the secret silent issues they've done, this is an homage in more ways than one because it is the invasion of a ninja temple.
Right.
It is, I believe the snow was also a part of the... There's some nods, there's some moments that are very close to... there's a bit with a sword where somebody catches a sword, basically.
Yep.
There's a lot of nods to... the original G.I. Joe 21 in here.
G.I. Joe 21.
Yeah. It's a good issue. I liked it quite a bit.
I was also... Oh, okay. I think I realized what was going on. There's a bit right here where Storm Shadow is like, something catches his attention, and I now see what it was.
Yes.
But at first I was like, oh, is that something else? But anyway, it's kind of fun because I feel like we're going to also find out there's a few hidden things in here.
Yeah, for sure. And you and I have talked often that really, for the most part, silent issues are a great idea, but very few people can pull them off. I feel like this one pulled it off pretty well.
Jess Williamson did a really good job.
Yeah. And Tom Riley, the artist.
Yeah, he's okay.
Venom number 257, which is Death Spiral Part 8 of 9. I think, Dave, you and I are both shocked by how much we're enjoying this symbiote-focused, carnage-focused story.
It's one of my favorite. I think it's, all credit to the writers who are working on it, because I think... the two guys that we'd been following, Charles Soule and
Al Ewing.
And Al Ewing, we knew they were probably going to be good, and they're doing really good continuing their stuff. Zeb Wells is the third part?
No, not Zeb Wells. Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly, right. We'll purge Zeb Wells.
Yes.
Joe Kelly, who I don't have special fondness for, I think has also been doing a very good job keeping up with these other guys. And this is another good one. There's... Any given issue, I'm not quite sure who's safe and who's not.
Yeah.
Torment, the mysterious new serial killer who has a very set code has bonded with Carnage. Carnage wants to kill anything in sight and is like just like a monster, and their internal back and forthing, trying to find some things that they can agree on, even though they're like also constantly disagreeing, is actually really interesting. It's a cool visual. Their merged form, and like some of the people, basically in this one, he's like going after Aunt May. Yeah, she is in the spiral.
Don't forget Anna Watson.
I actually forgot it was her. That's like her bestie, right?
Yep.
So we don't know everything about Spiral yet, but we do know, like, when he's got like a victim, his kills circle the victim.
He's got a different kind of psychosis, because Carnage is just kind of crazy.
Right.
But he has a specific, like, has to do things, and Carnage does some stuff here that messes him up, which I thought was really interesting.
Oh, yeah, it was super cool when that happened, when he's like, you screwed up the Spiral. But yeah, so Spiral, like, if he's going to kill you, he needs to kill your relatives and acquaintances and stuff like that first until it tightens up, and then he kills you.
Yep.
And, but he's not just opposed by Peter in this one. There's another cool guy who shows up, and I actually thought that he was cooler than I've seen him in a while.
They've done some good job with that character in this.
Whenever I've seen him show up as a supporting role in the other symbiote books, I've thought that they've done a very good job.
Al Ewing did some great stuff with him in Venom, and I really liked him here too. We're not saying who it is. But.
Yep, we're not saying who it is, but and then there's a very fun cliffhanger last page. This is part 8 of 9. All they need to do is seal the deal with the next one, and I will be able to say that was a really good crossover.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I don't say very often. I'm not a crossover
and especially symbiotes.
I know.
It's crazy how much they've got to support Venom and Carnage.
The rehabilitation that they have done, at least in my eyes, has been amazing.
And I don't know what's going to happen in the final chapter.
Me neither. Yeah, me neither. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Inglorious X-Force number 4. I really enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying this X-Force run, which has characters like, I don't care about Helverine. I have only the mildest interest in Boom Boom or Archangel or Cable. I do love Miss Marvel. And their premise here is really good, and the sort of like military ops thing that's going on, along with the future mystery, like everybody seems to know things that they shouldn't, like Domino seems to be on their side of it for some reason. We don't know why. Cable is doing things based on a future that may or not come to pass. The bad guy revealed here is a good bad guy. Like,
but I think I'm really digging it. From what now I'm a little bit behind on it, but a lot of it is also, I think, Tim Seeley's incidental writing is really good. For sure, yeah. Like, he made me interested in, like, Boom Boom, in Wolverine's son, Tekken, and stuff like that. As presented in here, and the spotlight moves around a little bit between the characters as the series progresses. I haven't read this latest issue, but even though I did not bond with those characters in the 90s, I've been impressed that he's kind of made me want to learn more about them, and I've been enjoying him. So,
the third issue of Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four. Dave, you're a bigger fan of the Planet of the Apes movies than I am, and that I've never seen the original ones.
Yep. They're doing a really good job with these.
So this is but I'm really enjoying this book. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically because of the machinations of the Red Ghost, classic Russian bad guy. He was like the Russian counterpart almost to Reed back in the day, who went up into space got bombarded with cosmic rays with some test monkeys. Yeah. Yep. They all got superpowers, and so it's Red Ghost and his super apes. But it made sense that his machinations is what got the Fantastic Four stuck in the strange future of the Planet of the Apes, which I believe Reed is starting to puzzle out.
Figure out. Yep, that was kind of a fun thing.
But the interesting thing is, of course, at the end of the first issue, the Fantastic Four lost their powers when they landed in it, and the powers all transferred to some of the iconic characters from Planet of the Apes. Yep. So Dr. Zaius and Cornelius and his wife, Dr. Zira, they got Reed and Sue's powers. Dr. Zaius got the Thing's powers, so he's like, it'd be like giving, God, I don't know, I'm not going to quite say Trump, but basically the guy who's like running, he's their chancellor sort of guy. Yeah. And he is like sort of a religious zealot too. He's got all that strength. And then General Ursus, who's like the military guy, has Human Torch powers. And it doesn't, there's a certain alliance with them in the Fantastic Four in this, or at least some of them, because they're trying to pull up these spaceship from, what's his name, from the original movie. Yeah.
Because they want to get the FF back to their home.
Yeah. And Reed's puzzling that out. There's cool things of them learning how to use the powers. Reed tells Cornelius, he's like, wow, your wife is really impressive, and he's like, same to yours.
Yeah,
and
it was cool to see Sue basically guiding her through using the powers.
And then it's been pretty cool to see the General Ursus, the hardcore dude with Human Torch powers.
Yes,
who's pulling his strings.
I would say if you are a fan of Planet of the Apes, you definitely want to read this.
Yeah, old school Planet of the Apes, by the way.
I don't know anything about Planet of the Apes, and I'm really digging this as a Fantastic Four story. So it's worth a read, even if you're not a giant Planet.
Two unusual icons of the '60s meet.
Speaking of pop culture and Marvel, Godzilla Infinity Roar. Yes. The third issue of that comes out this week. This has Dr. Doom deciding he needs to get involved as Godzilla, who has somehow grabbed the power cosmic from Galactus, unwittingly doing the bidding of Null.
Right. I know Null was like the kind of puppet master.
He attacks Asgard, which is being defended not just by Thor and Beta Ray Bill together, which is pretty great.
Yep.
But also the X-Men and the Avengers. So this is a big throwdown between Godzilla and all these cosmic powered guys, and this is so much fun. It's a really fun. Again, I'm not the world's biggest Godzilla fan either, but I do enjoy this quite a bit.
I've talked about this with our customers occasionally in the last year or two or a few years. It used to be that kind of licensed stuff, just like in video games or movies and stuff like that, was always kind of going to be a shoddy product.
Yep.
And now they put really good writers on it. Sometimes it's people who are associated with one or both of the properties.
Yep.
Or at the very least, you can tell that they really thought about, like, what can we do in Planet of the Apes and Fantastic Four? What are the similarities and differences between these? What's going to be fun to do?
Right.
Same with Godzilla and all that. They've really thought it through.
For sure. And then from last week, I want to mention Mortal Thor number 9 has a really interesting throwdown between the unpowered Sigurd Jarlsson and the very powerful Radioactive Man. And it is a really interesting story, just like all the ones that Ewing has been doing with his character.
You reminded me, Randy, that the last time I think I was particularly aware of Radioactive Man, and a hero that goes back to Marvel's at least Bronze Age,
villain.
if not Silver Age, or villain. But it was when Warren Ellis used him on Thunderbolts and definitely kind of leaned into this guy is a smart professor type guy beneath his scary powers and stuff.
And there's a lot of that in this issue too.
And as I was flipping through it, just the visuals looked so cool from Pascal Ferry, because by the way he glows green. He's got a cool visual.
Yep.
But seeing him and Sigurd in there really made me want to catch up on that book. Is the collection out yet?
Not yet. Soon.
When is it coming?
I don't know.
Could you look it up?
Probably.
No, but soonish. I'm glad to hear it's still doing good.
Yeah, it's great. And then trade-wise, we got a few things. Last week we had Everything Dead and Dying, which is the unusual zombie book sound like a farm that's by the creative team of That Texas Blood.
Oh, yeah.
We got a comic edition of Dark Knight Returns.
Right. That's, continuing, speaking of 86, that was, as iconic as it gets.
We got a hardcover this week of Batman Sword of Azrael. I don't know if this is only the original miniseries or maybe some other stuff, but I have a huge fondness for Azrael. I've played him in your RPGs.
Yep.
I think he's a really interesting visual that Joe Quesada created.
He's one of those characters that I think is too often underserved.
Yes.
Like, there's a great concept behind him, and unusual, too. Like,
a lot of people just use him as, he's murderous Batman. I'm like, there's way more interesting stuff
he's got,
it.
like, he has this lineage to this, like, kind of crazy Knights Templar type cult. Yep. He was, like, trained by, like, this little troll man in like, Scandinavia. Like, his origin is interesting. He does have cool powers. He himself was, like, a hacker originally, the dude. He was, like, a kind of like a hacker college student, if I'm not mistaken, and it's like, oh, hey, you're the chosen one, or whatever. I'll have to take a look at this. I always like kind of revisiting those 90s era, because, like, in his early days, the creativity was, like, very strong.
Yep.
And I think it was, like, kind of like in the later years where they sort of dropped the ball a bit.
It also is, it's early Quesada stuff. It's written by Denny O'Neil.
Yeah. One of the most iconic Batman writers of them all.
And it says, so it's got Sword of Azrael number 1 through 4 and Azrael Ash number 1. Ash is the firefighter superhero
created
that
by
Quesada created.
Joe Quesada for, like, an independent company.
Interesting that is in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I guess because Azrael's in it is a DC book, not I'm sure he gets payment for it, but fascinating. We also have Bible 2, Volume 1, Hail to the King of the Jews.
Yes. If you are looking for a sacrilegious comic,
Yep.
I saw he used, jet sandals at some point.
He's riding a dinosaur and has Uzis on the cover.
He's dropping the F-bomb. Probably not since Robert Kirkman's Battle Pope or one of those kind of books has there been anything this sacrilegious. Please don't come stab us, but it is very funny looking. What is it called?
It is called Bible 2, Hail to the King of the Jews.
nice oblique
Evil Dead
Army of
reference.
Darkness reference, yeah.
We get one of the DC Finest volumes this week. It's Westerns, and the title is The Hangman Never Loses, which is, I don't care who you are, that's a great title.
Was that like the title of one of the comics?
I think it was probably the title of one of the stories.
Yeah, it almost has to be.
So it's by Robert Kanigher, who also did famously a lot of
Sergeant
Rock. This is gritty Western stories featuring Jonah Hex, El Diablo, and Tomahawk.
Yeah.
Collects issues from All-Star Western, Weird Western Tales, and Tomahawk.
What a great title. And also, by the way, my general sense is that a lot of those comics from that era had great art.
Yep.
Because it was all like Joe Kubert and Russ Heath.
This is interesting. The artists on this one are listed as Jim Mooney and Hal Sherman, neither of whom I know.
Jim Mooney, I feel like, was a Spectre artist from back in the day. But the other one I don't know.
It looks like a really cool. It's got a great cover. Like, if you're looking for some fun Western stuff, worth a look.
So
also,
what's the name of it again?
The Hangman Never Loses, Dave.
That's pretty cool.
Fine Print Volume 3. This is the Devil Angel sexy book from
right.
Stefan Sedgwick or maybe Linda Sedgwick?
I think Linda Sedgwick, you know, two parts of the Naughty Comic power couple.
Yes.
And, Sunstone is his book and is his big thing.
This is Stefan Sedgwick.
Okay, it is. Okay.
It's a woman who makes a deal with underworld gods to fix her broken heart, exploring themes of love, lust, and the complications of divine and mortal relationships.
Yeah, we've talked about some of their books over the years. For naughty comics, which are not yes, they are naughty. They're not. It's not porn. It's not full porn.
It's a little porny,
but it's a little porny. But there's always it's actually tends to be rooted in good character work.
Yep.
And in sometimes the complicated world of whatever their kinkster thing is in a given volume. Yep. In this case, I guess demons.
Yep. And angels.
And angels. Yeah.
It says, AKA, why sex with gods is not a good idea.
Okay. I feel like Greek mythology is peppered.
Covered that, yeah.
But I'm willing to give them a shot.
And then we've got the volume of Gunpowder Prophets, which is a book from Justin Jordan.
Prophets is spelled like a prophesying person. Prophet.
It's a horror action series. It's Huck and Marley. They take on supernatural jobs for money. This is very much a grindhouse kind of thing.
Okay.
I dug this quite a bit. I haven't read all of it, but I liked what I read of it, so I'm looking forward to checking out
maybe
the collection.
If someone is I do like me some Django Unchained, that this might be a...
But it's also 70s set. This is a...
Oh, it's actually in
full-on,
the 70s.
Yeah, it's in the 70s. So if you want 70s adventure, if you liked... the Venture Brothers?
Yeah.
Definitely that kind of vibe. It's got a little bit of that Samson vibe.
Yeah, over the top.
But yeah, worth a read. Okay, any other comics? Did I miss anything?
That got everything I was going to mention.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about some trailers and some news. All right, we got a few trailers to discuss. Let's start off talking about that Punisher One Last Kill. So this is a Marvel movie, which is not like what they did, the Werewolf by Night.
You're right. And
an original. Didn't they do another one shot? I feel like there was another one.
There was another one. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special,
which both are great.
Those are great.
So
Punisher, you got a lot to live up to.
It does, and the trailer doesn't do a lot for me. It just seems like a lot of images of violence and Punisher being mad and upset.
He also looks kind of like. Who are the people he was talking to early on?
They got to be old army bucks. They're flashing out like they're ghosts.
Right. So I think he's experienced. This may dive a little into some PTSD stuff.
I think
more specifically.
Yeah.
Now I don't actually. I didn't watch all the Netflix shows, and I didn't watch all the any Disney Plus follow throughs on them.
Yep.
So I don't have strong feelings one way or the other. John Bernthal
plays a great Punisher.
Always seems like he's doing a good job.
He was in season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. He was my favorite thing.
Okay.
There's a great scene where basically the anti-vigilante task force, which has adopted his Punisher skull,
they've
captured him, and they're all surrounding him. He's tied to a chair, and they're basically telling him how much they worship him.
Yeah.
And he basically tells them all to fuck off and just beats them all to death.
Love it.
It's great.
Love it. There are signs of him running around with weapons with like, I don't know if that was like some kind of giant pipe he had that he was fighting some dudes on the rooftop with. You said it kind of looked like there's some sort of maybe home invasion-y people.
It looks like he's watching a home invasion of the apartment across from his, and that's what starts this all.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Maybe that's like the opening sequence or something like that. It looked solid. I just couldn't make it. It felt like a teaser trailer a little bit more than a trailer.
I also don't need to know that much about it. I don't want to know too much about it.
Right.
But it's gonna bridge his appearance in Born Again season 2 and his appearance in the Spider-Man movies. So,
the previous 2 kind of notable movies like that were a Halloween one and then a Christmas one. So maybe this one needs a holiday to lock it down.
What's May? Is it May Day? Is it the May Day?
Is this about labor relations?
I mean, Punisher and labor relations kind of works.
It kind of could work.
Yeah. On a completely different tack, Netflix is doing a new Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. This is interesting because, so I've never seen this. I know that is it Laurel
Ingalls Wilder. This is it says beloved books, which I guess I believe.
These were actually her reminiscences from the 1800s of traveling out.
She was born from 1867 to 1957. She was a teacher. And she wrote these about her. This was about her. She was the second of 5 children. She is basically talking about living in a log cabin in Wisconsin. Yeah.
What's interesting about these is that, and I never have really engaged with any incarnation of this, so I'm talking from a place of ignorance. But it seems like they're broadly kind of wholesome, and that they're a person who remembers growing up in what was probably kind of a tough time, and yet remembers it mostly with fondness. And I felt like there's a sincerity to this, and I'm hoping a little bit of an acknowledgement of that it wasn't all rosy and stuff like that.
They're public domain.
Interesting.
So that's something interesting. This is apparently on Wikipedia. It says that she is referred to as some of America's first libertarians. Yikes! But says she was a longtime Democrat, became dismayed with the New Deal.
Oh no!
And what she and her daughter saw as Americans' increasing dependence on the federal government. Don't love that.
But it almost makes sense because they're she's out there basically log cabining it every day, and she's like, if you're doing anything less than building your own cabin and skinning the deer you hunted that day yourself, then you're suckling on the government's teat.
Now, she did become infamous for shaking the hand of an African-American man in segregated Missouri. So, she was the right side of history.
That's a good infamy.
She was for women's rights, although she worried women would vote according to what their husbands wanted.
Okay, well, that's
reasonable.
For the time, that's a reasonable concern.
For the time, I'm going to allow it.
Yeah.
However, one of America's first libertarians, not what I want on my gravestone. One of America's last libertarians would be a great thing to have on a gravestone.
If I don't know how much of this is meant to inform or not, but am I correct that when they showed them walking through one of these Old West towns, she paused to look and trade glances with a young, I think, Native American girl?
Yes.
And if there's some of the kind of acknowledgement of that, I know that, what interests me about something like this, if it was done well, is Netflix?
Netflix, yeah.
Is... I don't need it to be they need to turn everything progressive-minded or whatever.
Right.
But I wanted to acknowledge that the times were what they were.
Yep.
And that and I don't know how good the books and stuff are at doing this. I have this feeling that they were they're deeper than you think.
They're progressive for the 1900s.
Right. But also, you would hope it would be well written and just interesting characters and all that stuff.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll be my thing, but
I could not be less interested in
But
this.
I'll say this: I am a little bit tired of the Old West being nothing but gunfights and
sure.
outlaw shit,
yep.
or either how some American exceptionalism thing,
yep.
Or Dances with Wolves kind of stuff, or just an endless series of gunfights. I am a little bit curious on the basis of seeing a, kind of normal life. What's up with these people?
Yeah.
But I am broadly expecting to let Serena from the staff be the one to tell me about it if she watches it. I feel like she might have done the books back when.
It's a solid, wholesome looking trailer. It's probably going to be well done.
Yeah.
It is not for me, but everything would have to be for me.
Yeah.
Then we saw 2 horror movie trailers, both of which are scary as hell.
Right. This is Halloween, Randy.
Halloween.
In celebration of it, we're going to talk about horror trailers.
So Insidious, Out of the Further, I was going to look and see how many Insidious movies there have been.
We think it's 5.
We think it's 5.
My memory is that they had a strong track record up until like maybe the last one, maybe the last 2.
Okay, so there have been Insidious, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, The Last Key.
That was good.
And The Red Door, which I'm not sure I read that. I saw that one. I'm
certain I have seen them all.
Did I see this one?
Can you pull up a quick description of The Red Door?
Okay, so it does have Patrick Wilson in it. He directed it.
Yes.
Screenplay by Scott Teems, who's done the modern day Firestarter, Halloween Kills, not a lot of great stuff.
That's the upcoming one?
No, it's the previous one.
The previous one. We got a quick premise.
Leigh Whannell was not. This is a story based on Leigh Whannell, but it was not Leigh Whannell writing. And Leigh Whannell, of course, is one of my horror icons.
Right. He's one of the.
So this is in 2019, 9 years after possession. Josh Lambert's memories of experience in the further have been repressed. He's divorced from his wife.
He was he the kid in the original
He's
Insidious?
the adult.
Oh, okay.
So it's about the dad and the son, and the son is starting to draw the red door, and they get drawn back into it. I did see this, and I think I liked it okay.
I think so, too. It wasn't like a bomb, but it wasn't great. I seem to remember there was just kind of like weirdly missed opportunities.
Yeah.
And I also seem to remember it was weirdly not as scary as it should have been. Like, even on just like the jump scare level.
Yep.
But like, this is a pretty spooky looking trailer.
Yeah. So, by the way, the last movie did feature, I guess Leigh Whannell plays Specs.
Yes.
And someone else, I don't remember what the other guy's name is. Is it Tucker? Is Angus Sampson? Angus Sampson is Tucker. They're the 2 sort of dorky ghost chaser
hunters,
dudes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is the character name of the older lady who's kind of the star of this series?
That is...
It's just suddenly blanking on
it. Oh, man, what is her name? Lynn Shay.
Lynn Shay is the actress.
Elise Rainier.
Elise, okay. So, yeah, she is the person who, kind of hilariously, either, mild spoiler warning, in Insidious 1 or 2, dies.
She dies.
She gets killed. And yet, she's been in almost every single subsequent movie, maybe all of them, I can't remember, as this, sometimes, I think often in flashbacks, they showed her meeting with the ghost hunter guys.
Yep.
But she has become a staple of the series, and I really like her presence in it. The original Insidious was like inspired by Poltergeist, and no doubt her character was inspired by to kind of, I think, not just the lady, the dwarf lady in Poltergeist, this house is cleansed, but you remember there's also a psychiatrist in there that the mom bonds with,
right? And
she seems to be like a mixture of the 2 of those people in one character, and I have always liked her. She's basically this kind of like, it's almost like this fearless grandmother.
I love that character,
and she's so good. A lot of these movies are very scary.
Yep.
And so in this one, there is a woman, like a single mom and her daughter, who are like the central characters.
Yes.
And the mom has these weird dreams.
She may have some psychic powers,
right? Where she's interacting with the Further, which is what they call their kind of spooky afterlife thing.
This is a scary as hell trailer.
It is. Lots of just creepy imagery. It reminded me of both like early Insidious stuff, but also the Haunting of Hill House. Haunting of Hill House
for sure.
What comes out is so you see her. This doesn't tell you. It seems to like it takes place after the original Insidious movies. It's not a prequel one,
right?
Because she goes to like, I don't know why, but this woman goes to like a tattoo artist, and we see that Lynn Shay's character, at least, is like
speaking through her.
She's like channeling her, and helping this lady figure out what her issue is. And it seems like she can interact with the Further, and see demonic presences or something like that. But potentially they can kind of get out through her dreams. And they definitely played the creepy little Tiptoe Through the Tulips song from which was associated with one of those demons in the original Insidious.
Yep.
And I think there's a few others that I recognized, but I couldn't swear to it because we saw it on a small monitor.
Yep.
It looks like that is what the central threat is, and that there's going to be, at least looks like she's pretty present in it. or at least somewhat present.
Yeah.
And yes, like you said, a lot of scary scenes. The scariest looking is kind of the one that they showed an extended bit at the end. She's got like a pillow for her, for her daughter.
Yeah.
She's going in there, and you can already see like one of these tunnels looks longer than it should be, right?
Yep.
And so she's looking back, and she sees something stick its head out that doesn't look human, and it begins like climbing into the tunnel with her, and it's fucking spooky.
Scary.
Looking.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's directed by someone named Jacob Chase, who has mostly done like a bunch of horror shorts. So
yeah, we decided we're going to check him out and see, like, you know, when you've got these kind of very unknown people like that, sometimes it's like an unknown that somebody saw something in and they were right to.
Yep.
Sometimes they see something in them and they were wrong to hire them. We have no idea which way this one is going to go, but the Insidious movies, other than maybe the last one, have a pretty good track record.
The last one was solid. It was solid. I enjoyed it. So.
And I would say the early ones are very good. Sometimes maybe even hitting great.
And then the other trailer we saw, also scary, is from Andre Olfredal.
Yep.
He's got he's
like a Scandinavian director of some sort, of Finnish director.
He worked on Troll Hunter, which we saw in the theater and was great.
Yep.
And he worked on The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is a really good and scary movie.
I believe he also did one of my favorite all-ages horror movies, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Right, he did. And then he did The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is the last thing he's done.
Which was definitely like a meh movie.
Yeah.
Although I will say this, I think it has some good stuff in it.
It has its moments. I feel like this might be a thing where it's like it's not his fault. So he had the wrong collaborators or something.
Overall, I generally really like his track record.
Same.
And I like that he does kind of different horror movies each time.
Yep.
So what do we got? This premise here. The movie is called what? The Passenger.
It's just called Passenger.
Passenger. And it begins with the sequence, a nighttime road trip.
There's this little. This is on the poster too. There's text that comes up that says 130 million people take road trips every year, and you're like, oh, okay, all right. And then it says 15,400 of them will never be seen again. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a big number.
Yeah, this may be one of those, like, playing with the statistics, like, if, just people reported missing but found, or the reports were never
also, this could be made-up numbers.
And it could be made-up numbers for, like, its world, that they're building.
But it seems to be some sort of ghostly passenger that latches onto people in cars.
Right. The way it occurs, though, in the trailer, the first you see of things going weird is this guy gets out to, like take a leak in the woods, right? They're driving along, and while he does that, suddenly he goes off into the woods. It's misty, it's spooky, it's nighttime. He hears his buddy like laying on the horn, and he like comes back and he's like, "Geez," he's like, "What the hell is it?" The guy's not there.
Yep.
There's no sign of him.
Yep.
He eventually gets in the car, and like suddenly his friend smashes into the windshield like he's thrown or something like that. He like peels out of there in a panic, and you see him driving, and the camera like this scene stays with the scene.
Good.
He's driving scary nighttime road, and suddenly his headlights, you see passing somebody who's just standing creepily along the side of the road.
Yep.
And he passes him and looks back, sees the guy like in the rearview mirror, keeps driving, sees him again.
Yep.
We've seen
it's
this
like
kind of hitchhiker type of spooky story.
Yep.
But it's creepily done. Something scary happens afterwards, of course. And yes, it does seem like, it is some sort of maybe new urban legend, a haunted ghost of the highways. It's funny because I've been talking about taking a trip up to the Panhandle with my sister, and I will definitely have to show her this trailer. But a lot of man, we didn't even, by the way, mention in the Insidious trailer the creepy dentist scene.
Yeah,
because that was in that one. But anyway, it just has a bunch of scary stuff in this trailer. I want him to get another hit after this sort of meh Last Voyage of the Demeter. And the trailer looks promising. I'm game for a creepy, new urban legend, a road trip urban legend.
Yeah, both of these look interesting to me.
I remember there was some sequence where they see like these 3 claw marks on the car.
Yeah.
And, like that sort of invokes the old, like the Hook, urban legend and stuff like that. I'm sure that there is, of course, their own spin on it. I definitely already picked up some of the little bits of weird lore in the trailer. But, I kind of like that stuff. Like, in the same way It Follows, there's definitely a new spin on that kind of thing.
Yep. All right, that'll wrap it up for us. We'll be back next week with more. Until that time, Yo Joe. Roguecast is a weekly podcast broadcast from Rogues Gallery Comics and Games in Round Rock, Texas. You can find us online on Facebook and at www.roguesgallerytx.com and email us comments or questions at roguesgallerytx@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.